Hey guys, what's happening? Thanks for tuning in, coming back and watching. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing really well. And if you're new here, I'm Jim. It's great to meet you. I make tutorial videos here every week on YouTube showing you how I edit my photos using various software products. Today I'm in Luminar 4 and I'm working on a landscape. Just got back from Colorado. I took a number of landscape photos, which, let's face it, we all love to shoot. Although many of us, me included, don't always get the opportunity. So one night in Colorado, I was driving around and we were just looking for a place to get a photo of the sunset. It was a pretty nice sunset. I happened to find a pretty good location at enough time still to capture some of the light. Here's the base photo, and what I want to talk about are a few tips and things I think about to help me edit my landscapes to end up with the look that I want. So here's my base photo, and that's my final photo. That's pretty impactful. It is saturated. I like color. If you don't, it's a simple fix. You don't have to necessarily go as saturated as I did, but I'll walk through how I edit this photo, the things I think about, and try to make this sort of a quick tip video. Let's hit it, my friends. I'm going to reset this and we'll get going. Okay, here we are, the base photo, unedited. The only thing I've done is straighten it. And my photos are always crooked. I need to see a chiropractor or something. I'm going to start on the light tool, and that's an accurate name for where I start. I pretty much start every photo, including landscapes, thinking about the light. How do I balance the light? This one, to me, the foreground is pretty good. The reflection, that is. The sky's too bright. I want to add some warmth and some color. So I got to look at my notes here. I go to about 6,900-ish. Something, about like that. And I'm going to pull the tint up a little bit as well to maybe around 25. It is a sunset. I like to have that kind of tinted magenta look in my sunsets. It's just something I like. So I'm going to do that. I am going to take the exposure down. I don't do this a whole lot in my photos, but there are times when it's necessary. I feel like this is one of those times. Trying to pull back some of the light, even if it gets darker in the foreground, super easy to fix later. I'm going to do smart contrast of about 20 or 22. And then highlights, as you can see, they're fairly bright. I'm bringing those down significantly, so like a negative 85. And there we go. I mean, I feel like from there to there, we've already got a much better photo. Brought back so much. If you look at this sky, especially those clouds, all the details lost. Bringing back those highlights really made a huge difference. I think that's a massive improvement. So while I'm thinking about the light, I'll often go to AI Enhance. And here I'm going to use Accent AI, and I'm going to go to about 79 or so. And I'm going to do a little bit with Sky Enhancer. I think you got to be careful with that one because it does darken the sky. In this photo, totally works, but in some photos you got to be careful because that it's kind of a polarizer type look, and that Sky Enhancer can over darken the sky. But just AI Enhance on top of what I did in the light tool, I think we've got a nice looking photo. The AI Enhance did a really good job of keeping that foreground bright while kind of controlling the light in the sky. One more time before AI Enhance with those two sliders and after. Okay, now I feel like we got the light in good shape. The next thing I think about is detail, and I've done videos about this before. The second thing I think about is detail, and in this case, your opinion may vary, and that's totally fine, but my opinion is I don't want a highly detailed photo here. I'm kind of going for a dreamy look, so I'm actually going to go negative on the structure, like a negative 40, which is smoothing out the whole photo, and then I'm going to go in and just erase that from the ground, or the landmass, I guess is the word. So basically, I've just softened the photo, and I'm just going to pull some of the detail out of it just to create a little bit dreamier kind of shot, and then maybe come in here a little bit and do a little bit like that, where I'm removing that negative structure, so I'm keeping the base level of detail in those areas. Those that are not pink, and the ones that are pink are getting reduced. So light, detail, and again, the landscapes may vary. There are definitely landscapes, like in this video, where I want to accentuate that detail and give it some pop, and there are different ways to do that, including what I demonstrated in that video. But in this one, I want to go softer. I'm kind of going for a sunset, well, not sunset specifically. It is a sunset, but I'm going for kind of a dreamy look. So there we go. It's getting dreamier. Now for the third thing that I think about, light, detail, and the third one is color. The first thing I want to do is bring up the vibrance, and I'm going to go to about 30. Again, fairly saturated photo. I'm not bumping the saturation, but I'm bumping up the vibrance, which is going to kick some of those secondary colors, and I think has a nice impact overall. I'm going to go golden hour of about 29 or 30. And then I'm going to pop over here and give it a tiny bit of Orton. Orton is about a 10, and that is really just creating that little bit of that dreamy look. It creates a little bit of shadow, a little bit of contrast as well. As you can see, there's before and after. And then I'm off to the Pro tab. And over here, I'm going to go into Color Enhancer. Brilliance and Warmth, I'm going to do very light, like a 5 or 6 on both of these. So Brilliance and Warmth, both about a 5, 6, let's call it. Just a miniature, really, just a smidge of pop in that. And then I'm going to go to Split Toning. And here I'm going to do a saturation of about 24. And I want the hue to be about a 12. So that's kind of in the orangey, kind of reddish. And what that's doing, because I'm in the highlights with split toning, I'm popping the intensity of the color in the bright parts, which is primarily the clouds and some of this section over here, which is also clouds, of course. But if I turn that off, you can see before and after, it just gets a little bit warmer, a little bit more oomph. And if I turn off Color Enhancer, it's not a big deal, but it's a little bit of pop. And if I turn off both, by the way, you will see that the photo looks a little bit flatter and less warm in those, especially in the brighter areas. And that's what I'm trying to accentuate. To me, the darker areas in a sunset are going to be kind of the blue sky. I don't need them to be warm because they're blue. I want the lighter parts that are brighter to be warmer, and they're already, kind of in that realm. So I'm enhancing them there. That's my base edit. Now there's some customization I want to do. I want to go in and do a few things. The first thing I need to do is erase these spots because they're kind of driving me nuts. So I'm going to click over here and activate the eraser, and we're going to go get rid of those little annoying spots in my photo. Okay, so there's my erased image layer, got rid of those spots. And here's the next thing I think about. After light, detail, and color, and then these kind of corrections, I think about sort of touch-ups. And I do this a lot in my videos where I'll add a new layer, and I'm going to add in a new adjustment layer and create a touch-up layer for me to come in and fine-tune a few little pieces of this image. Okay, there is my adjustment layer. There's a couple of things I want to do, and truthfully, I actually changed this right before I started recording the video because I had the photo like that, and I was like, man, I love that. I love my colors. I like kind of painterly, vibrant, maybe that's the word. Anyway, I like that. But I wanted to come in and do a few more things. I wanted to play with the light again, and I do this a lot, even though I do light and detail and color, and you can often do that on the base layer. Sometimes after I've done some things, I'll come add a new adjustment layer, which is this one in this case, designed for touch-ups, but I may do some other things to it. The first thing I did was I came in and I played with accent or AI accent, and that's really popping that light because that's really what it does. You can see the before and after. I like that look. It adds a little bit of drama. It actually, I think it really brightens the image in the center. If you look at it again, before and after, I think it really makes that center of the image pop. And that's what you're drawn to, I think. Visually, you're going to be looking at the trees. I look at it and I kind of go that way. I start at the trees on the far right and kind of go to the left and look at the sky and the reflection. And I shot this with the horizon in the center basically on purpose so I could capture that full reflection. Now the second thing I may do is play with some colors. In this case, believe it or not, I'm going to come in here and take the saturation of the blue down. If you were thinking, Jim, you're way overdone here, you could go pretty negative. I like my blues. I like blues at sunset. So what did I do? I did like a 15 or 20. Let's call it an 18. I'm going to reduce that a little bit. I don't want to overdo it just because I like my colors. But again, that's the power of Luminar. You can kind of customize that, make it look how you want. So if you're like, Jim, way too saturated, over the top for me, hey, cool. Just reduce the amount of color saturation, and you can do that by color or by color channel as I just showed you. Now, the next thing is I'm going to go over here to adjustable gradient. One of my favorite tools, and if you set the orientation, or if you click set orientation, you can move that up and down. I shot it right in the center, so I'm just going to leave it. And what I want to do is I'm going to play with the highlights a little bit, both in the top and the bottom of the photo, but I want to play with them a little bit differently. So in the top, I'm going to take the highlights down quite a bit, like a -50. That's going to really reduce the brightness in the sky, especially some of those areas around the horizon, or excuse me, where the hills, where it's brighter, right? So maybe a -40. And at the bottom, I'm going to pull it down just a little bit, maybe like a 15 or 20. I gotta look at my notes. I don't even know what I did. But there, that allowed me to come in and take the sky that looked like that, which I actually like. I mean, the sun is setting behind those hills, so it's popping. It's like that last dying light. It's kind of, jumping out there. But if it's too bright, take it down a little bit. Now that I look at it, I actually think it's a little too much in the sky, so I'm going to bring that back a little bit. So I like having a little bit of that brightness there. And by the way, that works really well in combination with this AI Enhance, because if I turn this off, you can see it, to me, it's a little bit imbalanced. It's too bright in the top and too dark in the bottom. With AI Enhance, it gives it a nice balance there. And in fact, I'll often use AI Enhance on my last adjustment layer or my touch-up layer, like in this case, because it does give me a nice little pop. And then if you come in, and you can also look at this overall, and again, going back to the saturation thing, you can say, Jim, too much for my blood. That's totally fine. Just come take your entire saturation down, adjust accordingly. Something like that maybe looks a little bit more natural. I liked it at regular saturation levels, but again, the customization and the power in Luminar give you that kind of creative flexibility. But that's how I started, my friends. Too bright in the sky, not bad actually in the foreground, but a beautiful reflection, a nice sunset. Brought it back and just really made some impactful edits, thinking about light and detail and color. And then don't forget to come back around with a touch-up layer if you feel you need it. I personally like to do that on a separate layer, personal preference. Also, often in my touch-up layer, I'll be reusing tools or filters that I'd used on the base layer. Therefore, you need a separate layer for that because you can only use the tool one time on each layer. So it's another reason to think about having a touch-up layer. Call it whatever you like. I just call it touch-ups, but that's what I did with this one. There it is before and there it is after, and a fairly massive change. And admittedly, this is a bit artistic and a bit saturated, but I will tell you, it did not look like that. It definitely did not look like that. It was much better looking, in my opinion, and the colors were better. The clouds were more visible. It didn't look like that either, in full disclosure. That's a little more saturated than what I saw. Probably what I saw was something in between the two. Regardless, it's art. I made what I wanted to make, and you, my friends, should make whatever you want to make. It's your art. It's your photo. Do whatever you want with it. That's your right, and you should do that. So anyway, that's all I had for this one. I don't know how quick of a quick tip this was, but I wanted to talk about enhancing the landscape. Hope this gives you some ideas to experiment with in your own photos. And thanks for watching and the support, my friends. I really appreciate it. Hit subscribe if you haven't done that. Give me a thumbs up, and then don't hesitate to let me know what you think about it in the comments. I'm hanging out there. I try to answer as many comments as I can. I appreciate the interaction. Great community we have here. Love hanging out with you guys, and I'll see you again really soon. Have a great day, my friends. Take care, and adios.